spirit is rising, she's rising, she's rising. The spirit is rising, it's rising, it's rising. The spirit is rising,
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Welcome home. Welcome back to the Missing Witches RX. This is our weekly prescription for ourselves for how to fucking survive another week under the crushing boobs of capitalism, as somebody thought I said on a previous episode.
If only capitalism were as warm and squishy and nourishing as a boob.
These are our tips for the reenchantment. That's mostly turned into songs that help us get through the week, which makes sense. You know, we've written in the book coming up, inspired by this idea about sonic witchcraft that we inherited from Brooklyn, Sonic Witch. But the way songs can kind of circle in your head, can carry you, can get you through, can pull your energy forward. So I guess the RX isn't all songs, but
no, it's funny you say, because for the first time I brought a non-song.
Rad.
That's still an audio recording. That's not a song. I know we've talked about poems and pieces of art and books and stuff, but this is a non-song recording. But I still brought a song because, again, like we always say, there's nothing like a piece of music to transform me anyway. I mean, I guess I can't speak for everyone, but witches, I'll speak for all witches. The transformative power of the right song in the right moment can just completely change your entire outlook.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll start with the non-musical recording. It's not new, but it's something that I revisited recently, and while I was in it, I was thinking, like, I need to share this on the RX. This is such an important piece of history, the history of comedy.
I have a comedy one too. That's so weird.
That's so, listeners,
Let's
isn't
laugh.
our coven so magical that we always come with these like, oh, me too. So many years ago, almost 10 years ago, maybe even more, Tig Notaro, the brilliant comic
and beloved Tig Notaro.
Brilliant comic Tig Notaro was diagnosed with cancer. And Tig had a show booked. And so Tig took to the stage and basically improvised like a 40-minute set, which basically opened with, so I just found out that I have cancer. And it's so funny, amazingly. Like, this is kind of my point. Like, Tig took this opportunity, first of all, could have easily canceled, and I don't think anyone would have been mad, but decided to show up for the gig and be honest about what they were going through, and actually use this space as a way to talk through and work through and think of the funny bits about, you know, our bodies and our mortality and Tig's, you know, parents and family. And again, like, it's an old cliche, but it's something that I come back to all the time because I truly, truly believe it, that laughter is one of the best medicines. That in the same way that music does, laughter in a moment can turn us around. You know, there's that great quote from Dolly Parton in Steel Magnolias where Sally Field is crying and then laughing, and Dolly Parton says, laughter through tears is one of my favorite emotions. And I think we've all had that, where we've just broken down and we're sobbing, and then something happens. Could be anything, a thought, you know, your pet passes by and does anything, and you suddenly find yourself laughing through tears. And this Tig Notaro piece, which again will be linked in the newsletter, is an amazing course in how to be honest and how to be funny and to laugh at the thing. Because again, that's so witchy to me, is laughing in the face of those who think that we are powerless, laughing in the face of things like capitalism and cancer, and saying, no, you will not steal my joy. And that's the second part of my prescription, but I'll let you, Risa, talk about comedy for a bit.
Okay, too. I need to respond. I have a 17-part response. No, I love that special so much. Is that also the Tig Notaro special? Because I watched 2 back to back right when that happened, because I know she loves the Indigo Girls, where it ends with the Indigo Girls. Anyway, there's a Tig Notaro special that ends with the Indigo Girls that is hilarious. I also just watched One Mississippi, which is she wrote with her wife, or they co-produced it and they worked with the writer, but it's her true story of like it's their true story of like falling in love after the cancer, after the C. difficile that like ravaged her fucking body and life. They're amazing. I love them so much, their bravery, their hilarious way of dealing with their love story. And then it turns out, so Tig Notaro also loves this comedian that I was going to talk about today, Karen Kilgariff. I've heard them on podcasts together many, many times. And Tig Notaro always talks about how, like, early on when she was falling in love with her wife, they would play this Karen Kilgariff Live at the Bootleg album over and over and over on repeat. And she would text Karen like about lines in it or just like things that she was obsessed with. And Karen was in like an incredibly dark place in her life and her career. And those texts from Tig and that appreciation from Tig was really important to her. And there's a song on it that I've been thinking about so much this week. I listened to this album a lot. And it's called Business Situation. And it's like, everybody's been in a business situation. Everybody's suffered under fluorescent lights. Everybody's thought, what the hell am I doing here? And what is happening to my life? And then there's like a list of ways you could die. It's like, you only get one path. Yeah. It's like, you could get run over. You can fall off the side of, the edge of the beach or whatever, erosion. And then the like hook line or whatever is like, you only get this one pass. I hope you don't spend the whole time acting like a fucking ass.
Right? I mean, we only get one shot at this. Why would we want to?
Why are you acting like an asshole? Stop it.
Yeah.
Just be loving. And I also love the idea in that song that like, and I talk about this in the kinship meditation that comes out on Thursday, about the way that we can be made into tools by our environments. Like we can be compressed into losing our spark, like losing our magic, losing our fucking power by environments and discourses that eliminate that from what is possible, with the range of the possible. And I picture that standing in the corporate kitchenette under fluorescent lights, the way she describes it. So I hope you listen to that song this week. I know I will, because it makes me laugh. It makes me feel better. And listen to Tig. And like, let's just like laugh some looseness back in.
Yeah. And if you need to dance, here's what I brought for you, because again, our bodies and minds are connected in ways that we don't understand. And dancing is so fucking magical and so beautiful. To me, dancing is the resolution to the mind-body dilemma. It's my whole embodied spirit that is at work when I'm dancing. Mostly when there's music on, but even when there's not. So I brought an old track from the early days of house music, so there's no not dancing. It's a track called Unspeakable Joy by Kim English, and it's just exactly what you think it is. It's a dancing song called Unspeakable Joy. And basically the idea of the song is that if you didn't give me the joy that I have, then you can't take it away from me. Because they did not give it, they cannot take it away. I want to read some more lyrics, because again, this is one of those songs and you're dancing and maybe you're not even paying attention to the lyrics, but I want to put them in your head before you hear the song. Kim English sings, "I know the trouble tries to surround me, but I've been given something greater deep inside of me. I did not get it from any woman or man, and it's okay if they don't always understand. It's very easy to get caught in circumstance. it's even easier to break out in a dance. Joy, 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 unspeakable joy, because they did not give it, they cannot take it away.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. And of course, it's house music, but it's like a gospel vocal with like a house music. Joy, unspeakable joy. Like you can't not when you listen to it.
Oh my God. I worked briefly for this kindly but really strange rich guy in LA, and I stayed at his house for a little while when I first moved down there to work on his project. Big house, so I had my own area. And him and his wife and kid would wake up on Sundays and his whole house was like wired for the same sound, and he could like talk to it and make it play things. And they would play super loud house music Sunday mornings and just like dance around their house, and friends would come over, and then they'd all take the like subway and go to like go get margaritas and walk around downtown. And it was just like, and then go for dim sum. And so house music to me is always like being woken up by this like rising California weirdo party of like just joy. And I mean, it wasn't all dance parties, that job. Some of it really sucked.
But on Sunday mornings.
Oh, Sunday mornings were good.
Because I mean, that's the thing with this. There's like a specific genre of house music called like happy house. And obviously I'm very drawn by this. I mean, unspeakable joy is a great way to sort of tag that whole genre of music. It's a real embodied practice to be with a driving beat and gospel-y vocals that are encouraging and uplifting. Yeah, it's a great genre of music.
That house was full of that particular kind of music and that particular kind of joy. They had an adopted child and a ton of adopted dogs, and they all seemed like full of joy that this was the life they had ended up in. So the whole house was just like bouncing and rolling around and laughing. The last song I want to bring is it's about the flip side of the embodied emotion. So did you, I know we've talked about this, but do you remember, but not on this podcast, Free to Be, the record?
Like Free to Be You and Me or something like that? Yes.
The Marlo Thomas record. So this record was like so crucial to my imaginary world as a child. Like I would sit my memories of this record are when I just lived with my mom. There was a little couch, and then there was a table next to the couch that was like a shipping crate that was very splintery, and there was a record player on it. And this was in the Roach Motel, as they called it, the married students' apartments that we lived in. And I would sit with the record and I would hold the sleeve, and I would flip the record when it was done, and I would flip the record when it was done, and I would flip the record when it was done. And there was one song on that record that just goes, "It's all right to cry. Crying gets the sad out of you. Teardrops from your eyes. It might make you feel better."
I'm so glad that you brought this counterpoint. We're witches. We exist outside the binary, and we know that we need laughter and tears in order to be like our fully human witch selves.
Yeah, and sometimes crying through the tears is the best emotion.
Yeah, when we can meet in the middle of those spaces and cry through our tears, that's when we're really hitting some magic, I think.
Yeah. So that's the prescription.
Try to find an unspeakable joy. And if you can't, it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
But it's especially okay to laugh. We have to laugh. We cannot have our joy stolen from us.
Yeah.
We cannot, I'm going to say it again and again, we cannot have our joy stolen from us. We cannot feel guilty for having joy just because we know that there is suffering in the world. We suffer too. But if we allow our joy to be stolen, then the almighty they wins.
Yeah. And it's the same with our tears, fucking frankly,
Yes,
like if we get numbed to the point of just being tools, we don't have our tears and we don't have our joy, then that like juice magic that allows us to conjure change is being squished and squeezed, and like lemon ground out of us, you know?
Yeah.
So there's a therapy practice that I love. If you like are stifled around crying, like if you feel like you really can't let yourself. And I know for some people, like just the tears don't come. And we've had people in our coven suggest like go sit in the shower, like let yourself make the heaving noises, let yourself feel it, and let yourself feel the water run down your face if it doesn't, if the tear ducts don't work in that way. My other one is like with a pillow to the face in a safe container, after sort of conjuring a safe container around myself, is to like slowly turn up the feeling. Like whatever the sorrow is, the rage, the shame, the like fear, the sense of being trapped, like turn it up, like as though I'm turning up a dial on a volume. Turn up my own volume, like yell, scream, let myself heave and keen into a pillow, turn it up, like let, you know, when you let sobs really go and you don't hold them, turn up louder, get messier, like turn it up, because it's the only way out is through, you know, it's got to come all the way through for us to understand it and process it.
Yeah. And like you say, like so much of our modern society is about stifling a laugh in class or in church, or stifling your tears so nobody will think you're weak, or stifling. Let's get unfucking stifled. Like if you need inspiration to laugh at, and this is going to sound cold, but you've heard the whole thing leading up to this, to laugh at cancer, to laugh at bureaucracy, these things that aren't fucking funny, but the human spirit allows us to laugh.
Yeah.
Do
it. I mean, and just to put a fine point on it, Karen Kilgariff is, for I think many people will know this reference, but she's the producer and half the creator of My Favorite Murder. So one of the most famous podcasts in the world, popular podcasts in the world, where they kind of invented the like comedy true crime genre. And it's, if you haven't indulged in that, like if you are a feminist who's been like furious at the rate at which people are murdered and women are ravaged and we don't fucking understand why, it's very satisfying to listen to two angry, funny women tell each other stories, and while they talk through stories of their own addictions and trauma and stuff. So and fear. Fear.
Let's laugh and sing and dance. I mean, it sounds childish, but that's the brainwashing that we have undergone, is that to say like sing, laugh, and dance is like a childish proclamation to make, right? So fuck that. Laugh, sing, dance, find unspeakable joy, laugh hard, cry in public, as Kathleen Hanna says.
Yes.
Let's do all of that. Let's do all of that this week. And of course, please, our fundraiser starts on Monday, May 1st. So if you're looking for a source of unspeakable joy, try making a ritual sacrifice and see if that helps.
Yeah. You'll hear the promo for that in all our episodes this month. Just know, like, we love the Native Women's Shelter of Montreal. What they're doing is so fucking cool and powerful. We'll share some links about the new projects that they've been working on in the past year. We really love this organization. And so if you're like, it will feel good to me to support a Native women-led organization that's supporting Native women and mothers and families and keeping families together and making fucking healing magic in the hometown of the missing witches, do that. Otherwise, tell us about the orgs where you are. We're fucking stoked to hear about them.
Yeah, we've already had some eager beavers send in their reparations, like $400 so far, and we haven't even officially opened. So thank you to those eager beavers, and also people donating locally. Please let us know when the organization that you're making your reparations to. We want to hear all about them. We want to boost them as well. So yeah, let us know.
Yeah, let's have a little loving this month. We all could use it.
We can. Let's just fucking unspeakable joy.
And blessed fucking be.
Blessed fucking be. We love you.
She's rising, the spirit is rising, we're rising, the spirit is rising, the spirit is rising, we rise. I see it in your eyes.
Hi, folks. It's Risa and Amy here from Missing Witches, inviting you to get involved in our annual raffle in support of the Native Women's Shelter of Montreal and Indigenous-run nonprofits wherever you live.
We have a ridiculously fun, witchy heap of prizes donated by a whole community of folks joining together to make a magical wave of reparations magic.
There's a prize pack from Jinx Monsoon.
A one-on-one tarot session with Sarah Gottesdiener.
Magic classes from Pam Grossman.
A full year of writing workshops with Kate Ballou and the Bardo.
Art pieces, jewelry pieces, readings, books, and so much more.
Make a donation to your local Indigenous support org or the Native Women's Shelter of Montreal, and then just forward the receipt to missingwitches@gmail.com with the subject line reparations before May 31st.
For every $10 you donate, you'll get one entry into the draw. Check out all the details at missingwitches.com/reparations.
And bless the
Bless
fucking
the
bee.
fucking bee.